Welcome back to Serving Sonic, the music podcast. Am I echoing? Already? Yo, what? People, everyone has their headphones on, right? The headphones are working?
Yep.
All right, well, headphone check here on Serving Sonic. Serving Sonic, the music podcast. You're back. This is the third season. Thank you so much if you've been listening since the first season. If you're new, welcome. This is a podcast for music fans by music fans, and I have two very big music fans with me for the first episode of season 3. I'll introduce a new person first because if you're an older fan, you already know Old Faithful. But to my right, if you're viewing this on YouTube, it's my buddy Brandon. He is a huge music fan. Something that I love about Brandon is he sends me random emails about lists of artists that have different songs that I have to choose in these really horrible to pick through gauntlets of music. He's a king of that shit. But Brandon, welcome to the show. Tell us two things about you that listeners should know about and why you're a music expert.
Why I'm a music expert? I listen to a lot of music from country to EDM to K-pop. Now I'm becoming a fan of K-pop. You know, shout out to all my Pink Venom fans. Is it Blackpink? Sorry, Blackpink. I'm sorry.
Love it.
The Blackpink fans.
Blackpink.
All right. Yes, their tracks are fire. You should listen to them.
All right.
Who else? What else about me? I also DJ on the side as my cohort, good friend. Right, I think we're trying to plan something. Well, we're in talks. But we'll keep you updated. Right, I know what is it? An old school party, but we'll let you guys know sooner or later. Right. But yeah, that's basically it. Like I should say a music savant, but like I don't know yet. You know, we're still working on it.
We throw around the word savant like crazy on this podcast.
Yo, if that DJ collab is happening, I gotta be there for that. I need to see the universe explode. I gotta see that happen.
We'll get there. And then, without any further ado, we've got the OG back, Hunter Hamilton. It's been a while, my man. How you doing?
How you doing, fam? I'm really glad to be back. Loving the content on Serving Sonic. Lee is holding down the fort, as always. A good guy to have in the foxhole. But I'm really happy to be back for season 3. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a good season planned, hopefully. We had, honestly, the end of last season, we had so many great interviews that was awesome. So hopefully that takes us with like good momentum into this season. And, in the first episode of the new season, we always like to talk about the music that we just had in the past year, so 2022, which is what we're going to be doing, and then look ahead to what's coming down the line in 2023. So for 2022, guys, For folks here who follow us on Instagram or follow us on TikTok, you already know that we put out a top 10 albums of the year for 2022. And the reason I wanted to bring both of you on for this is because you guys come with like diverse kind of music fandom, I guess, and you could probably rip this list apart, which I'm hoping you will do. So... for people who have not been on the IG yet, this is the Serving Sonic top 10 albums of 2022. We're going to show on screen right here. So for people just listening, not on YouTube, I'm going to go through it real quick. So at 10, we have Capra Songs by FKA Twigs, followed by number 9, Love for Rent, Smino. 8, Mr. Morale by Kendrick. 7, Louis by Kenny Beats. 6, Everything Is Alright by Finn. 5, Blue Rev by Always. 4, Cheat Codes by Danger Mouse and Black Thought. 3, God's Country by Chat Pile. 2, No Thank You, Lil Sims. Very late addition to the Album of the Year race. And Natural Brown Prom Queen by Student Archives. Number 1 overall. Now, what I want to do, real quick, we'll start with one question. So, Brandon, we'll start with you because you're our guest here. You're our new guest. What is missing on this list that absolutely needs to be there for you?
Let me get my list. All right. All right. So, if you want to go the hip hop side, you guys are missing JID Forever Story.
Yeah, that's a fair one.
That's a Grammy nominated masterpiece. I played 2 songs for Hunter, and I think that man fell in love with it. Crack Sandwich and Dance Now. right?
Very true. Very true.
Right. If you like storytelling, the J. Cole's and the Kendricks, he's the guy for you, right?
Yeah.
If you want to go R&B, Jasmine Sullivan. I don't know how to say it. It's like Ho's story or her story. No, her whole tale. Sorry, another Grammy nominated one. Right? She takes you through all these emotions and stuff like that. You love it. That's another one. If you want to go like alternative, where the hell is Steve Lacy? Steve Lacy. All right, Gemini Rights. Where is he? That's a certified banger right there. Right? Let me see. Well, one more. I have a list. I'm just making sure I like all right. For my K-pop fans, Blackpink.
Let's
legit,
go.
The album. It's called The Album. All right. There's one song.
The album.
Pretty Savage. Fabulous. All right. Where is that at? And those are my big three right there. Actually, four. Sorry, I said four.
Four, yeah. I love that though. I love that. I love how you presented it. You know, you want another hip hop album in there? Boom, Jid. I'll say this, just to go kind of like quick fire through those. Jid was a tough one to omit. I'll agree with that. I know he's been on a lot of top album of the year lists. And very high on many of them. And that album's truly fantastic. I think like my biggest reason why I held it off is because I thought there were other hip hop albums that maybe just for me personally had like staying power that was a little greater. I agree with the storytelling though. That's the best part of that album is like his storytelling.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I'm still looking for like Jid a little bit because like you said like with Jake, you know, if you like J. Cole, if you like Kendrick. For Jid a little bit, I'm still like trying to hear him because I feel like I like he does like almost like you hear like impersonations of other rappers in him more than I would like to sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like what's his unique thing? You know what I mean? Like I think he's done a very good job on this most recent record of like sounding a lot more like unique and a lot more like himself. Yeah. But, you know, in the past, that's been a thing where I'm like, oh, this guy sounds like Kendrick, or like, yeah, this guy sounds like Cole, or this guy sounds like, you know, other X rapper. And I don't know if that just takes me out of the experience a little bit or what. But I agree. It's a fantastic album. K-pop one, I'm sorry, I haven't listened to Blackpink yet, but you're starting to make me think I need to. So maybe I'll check it out. Gemini Rights, great album, but I think it's not Steve Lacy's best work. I think Dark Red EP is better. I think that's what it's called, Dark Red EP. I like better, so maybe that holds it back for me. And then Jasmine Sullivan.
Yep.
You got me on that one. She's dope. I love Jasmine Sullivan, so that's a miss for me. But yeah, no, I think that's good. That's a good four to race. Absolutely. So is there, of those four, would you say that there's one that you're like, this absolutely needs to be in any top 10 list?
Yeah, what's the one that sticks out to you the most? Or is there a tie maybe, perhaps?
It's between the two. It's between Jasmine Sullivan's her Ho or Her Tales or Forever Story. Those are the two, right? Because those to me have like a lot of repeat factors, right? Jasmine has one song thanks to NBA 2K. What is it called? I forgot even the song. But
she on the 2K soundtrack.
Yo, that's why I found. I'm like, yo, this song is fire. Then
yeah,
I looked into the album, like, oh, this album is fire, man. Like, shit, man. Yeah. But yeah, let me see. What's the song? It's with Anderson .Paak. That's why. Jasmine. But with JID, yo, that whole album just like amazing. And there's one song I don't know if you heard, but it's called 2007. Yeah. Masterpiece. Totally.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of expecting that Jid was going to be one of the ones that you guys threw out, but wasn't too sure. But happy that it came through. What about you, Hunter? Is there one of these albums that I've missed here that you're really like, how could you do it? How could you do it to me?
Well, you know what, man? I got two things. I want to, because what I ended up doing, Lee has shown me a lot of his colorful, eclectic music taste. Brandon as well. Both of you are like, you're DJs, right? So like, I feel like you're creeping in creative spaces where I feel like I'm an absolute basic bitchin. I want to get to Lee's list in a bit because I was actually listening to the majority of the albums before coming on the show, and there's some there's some now favorites that I've added to that list. But going over mine, man, I mean, I only have three. The ones that stood out to me, and I'll say, Lee, that your picks, I really liked them because it was kind of like looking at a lot of the albums. I felt that they had a message within them. It's not music for the sake of music. Like, there's a story behind them. There's lessons learned, cool narratives that I actually really enjoyed. The only one that maybe you could throw into that list, perhaps, is the Mars Volta Blacklight Shine. I ended up really liking that record. A return to form, I guess, because I know that, and I mean, we'll have to get our other OG Jake, but I believe I read it's like the singer getting out of Scientology and like trying to rebuild the band essentially. Yeah, and like a lot of like reflection songs within that, and the pain that went through that, and losing so like I read upon that and I was like, wow, that's a heavy record, but it was very good. I really enjoyed it. And then honestly, I've got for the EDM fans out there, I really enjoyed Warehouse Summer with I_O and Lights, I_O, formerly Garrett Falls Lockhart. It's actually a posthumous release. So he didn't rest in peace. He ended up not getting to see his final album coming out, but the album's brilliant. I think it's just perfect front to back. And then, it's your boy who likes the metal, but I'm not going to be obnoxious with it because, if you like guttural vocals, if you like guys that are, like, too good for their instruments, they throw in a bit of jazz there. But this one, honestly, is just pure brutality. 9 tracks of straight death metal's going to fuck you in the face. I gotta give it to Nether Heaven by the band Revocation. I believe it is it's their latest album, just punishing death metal. I've been listening to that almost every day that I've been going when I was going to work, and it was excellent. But that's Lee, right. I wanted to also, can I read you what I have in the albums of your list there that I just wanted to entertain you?
Hell yeah.
So I put, I think you're right with FKA Twigs. I put, for me, number 9 is Natural Brown Prom Queen. 8, Everything Is Fine. 7, Louis. 6, Love for Rent. 5, Mr. Morales. 4, No Thank You. That record actually really impressed me. I loved No Thank You. Yeah. 3, Cheat Codes. And then, man, that God's Country album was absolutely fucking fantastic. Oh my god. Probably one of the most brilliant albums I've ever heard. But I don't want to listen to that on repeat all the time. No. So I can't because it's that brutal. But Blue Rev by Alves was frickin' amazing. I really enjoyed that. That was my record for the year.
Nice.
Good list, man.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. I would say that with the list, the thing that's always difficult with any of these year-end lists is trying to. I mean, I guess like the first thing that's difficult with these lists is trying to like leave out albums if you've like set a certain target number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if the target number is 10, which is like completely ambiguous, right? Like Hunter, from like what we did in reviewing 2021, we went for 10 and we ended up just being like, fuck it, we're gonna put 12 in our top 10.
We fucking
do it, exactly. Right? The math isn't mathing, right? Like we gotta fucking do it. So like
too many good albums.
Exactly, it's hard to do. The second thing that I kind of find hard to do once you get aside from like the actual number of albums that you're trying to do is like finding like a healthy mix of like what you actually listen to when you know that you have like natural biases and listening patterns. Like I know I listen to a lot of dance music and I listen to a lot of hip hop music, but that is not an actual like I think accurate representation of what I think are the best albums of the year, right?
That's true.
Because like there are albums that kind of like stick out to me from like other genres that really deserve a spot, but just because they're not in a rotation as heavily doesn't mean that they're like a lesser album. It just means that the opportunities to play it might just come up less frequently for me in my day-to-day. You know what I mean? Whereas like for someone like you, Hunter, I'm sure it's like the exact opposite. Like maybe like heavier rock or like metal is something that's like in a heavier rotation for you than something like dance music. But it doesn't mean that that dance record is like shittier than what you're listening to. It just means like you have like the preferences to like listen to like maybe heavier shit more throughout your day, more throughout like your average like day to day kind of like ongoings, right? And so like it's hard to know how to like rank them. You know what I mean? Because like it's like it can't just be like pure like how much I've listened to it. It can't
Most
just be
definitely,
pure
yeah.
like earworm, let's say, or like what's stuck in my head the most, because that's not a great indicator either. Or else like, yeah, Steve Lacy, Gemini Rights would be number one because I wish I knew like fucking all fucking day, man. All fucking day. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. You know what I mean? It'll be all 10 of them. So, you know what I mean? So like there's got to be a way to qualify it. So I think, Hunter, you brought up something really good of like what has a message, what has a story? Is there a deeper meaning to the things that are happening in this album? One thing I looked for. Another thing I looked for is the production or like the song structure or the way that they're putting together this piece of work. Is it doing something new or interesting that I haven't either heard before or haven't heard in a while that I think is a creative approach, right? And then the last thing too, I think is like kind of that next tier of like, how much did I listen to it? Like, is there a lot of catchy songs? Like, what was the cultural impact? Like, that's the kind of like third tier of things that I would look at. So I think that's maybe why something like, you know, Gemini Rights or another one that's someone brought up to me was that there was no Beyonce. And like,
yes, I was gonna say that, but I'm like,
I thought you would because that hits a lot of bases for you, man. Because I know that you love that album, but I also know that you like appreciate probably a lot of different things about that album, like not just the dance aspects, but like also how it blends R&B and blends a lot of like, you know, that kind of like
the
club kid
old,
culture.
yeah. Well, my thing with the Beyonce album, I think, is just that it was overplayed for me. Like,
Right,
say if
right.
you were to go on TikTok, you're hearing, "You're gonna get down tonight." That stupid song, "Cuff It." Oh, I'm sorry, not "Cuff It." Not stupid. "Cuff It," yes, but "Cuff It." I'm tired of that song.
Yeah.
"Church." I'm tired of that song. What's another one?
I mean, I love "Break My Soul," but I can't even listen to it unless I'm spinning it now.
Oh, I can't do that. Yeah, I can't listen to
You
that
know?
one's kind of
the only
overplayed
time
for
I can
me.
listen to it is if I'm playing it. You know what I mean? It's like if it comes on elsewhere, I'm like, fuck, I got to get out of this H&M right now.
You got to get out of
here.
you got out of the way.
Yeah.
Thank God it's slowly dying, but man, it took a long burn. It took a long time.
Yeah.
Couple
but
months,
it is,
you know.
when you think about albums that have had cultural impact over the last year, like that's 1A, 1B with like Gemini Rights, right? So it's like pretty impressive album in its own right. So yeah, there's things like that, right? That it's like tough to omit, but I kind of hate the lists that are like, you know, here are the top 50 albums of the year. It's like, fuck, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
like
totally.
complex.
do we need
Complex.
do we need 50 albums? Like, come on. It
Or,
seems like a bit of a fucking, you know, like a scapegoat a bit to be like or not
popular
scapegoat,
critic-
but-
A popular critic that we like to always talk to the show is Pitchfork. We always bring up Pitchfork a lot.
Yeah, they're top 50, I know. And like look, at least there's a write up with it, right? I'll give Pitchfork that. It's like at least they're justifying
Yeah.
the pick. But truly, how can you distinguish between 50 and 40? Like, what's the difference between your 50th album and your 40th album? Really, when you're getting that granular, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point?
Well,
Really.
Lee, let me ask you this: were you when you were making the list? Was there like maybe an album that you're like, I gotta listen to it again, and did that move up the list? I found that as I kept coming back to No Thank You, I would actually bump that up the list. Just I really love the production on it. The
Oh, it's so
lyrics
good.
were really good. And I was like, man, like this album actually really slaps. So, did you encounter that, like maybe revisiting, like Mr. Morales, or was it kind of concrete? It's like, okay, I've had my list. These are the ones that stood out to me.
Yeah, I mean, like before the list, it's always tough because like you want to try and give every album like a fair shot, right? Like actually try to like do some service of like recollecting it properly, because
Yeah.
like it's kind of like. Yeah, like I don't know when the last time I listened to Mr. Morale was, right? But in July, I was fucking listening to it every day for like 3 weeks in a row, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it like listening to it now is going to be a different experience to listening to it then, right? And so like yeah, I think it's important to try and listen back to it if you can in its entirety when making these lists. But the one that actually I think made the biggest change in my list was God's Country. God's Country wasn't even in my top 10 to start. I had what was in there? I had fuck. I'm trying to think now what I left. Oh, it was Denzel Curry's "Melt My Eyes."
Okay. Yeah.
Was in my 10th spot at the time. But God's Country, I was like, yo, this album's fucking hardcore. Like, I was like, this is like fucking like so good. And then I kind of like took a look at the list too, right? Where I was like, yeah, like we have a lot of representation for like R&B, hip hop sort of albums that like I think this album deserves some love for like really breaking through. So I listened to it like, 2 or 3 times during like kind of the December to early January period, and I was like, it's got to be in there, man. So yeah, got all the way up to 3. And Little Sims, man, Little Sims is like quickly becoming one of my favorite rappers, and like she's
very good.
Like that album came out of fucking nowhere. Literally, it was a surprise drop. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is the production was like so unexpected, man. Like talk about like fucking, early Kanye shit, early He Who Shall Not Be Named shit. Like fucking with the strings and orchestra and all that shit. Like I was like, holy fuck, man. Like she's like taking it to another level. And she's like lyrically, she's a beast, man. She's so gifted.
Very much so.
Gorilla comes on, the second track of the album, Gorilla comes on, and I'm like, yeah, this sounds like Old Tribe. And I was like, I'm in. Let's fucking go.
Done. It's done. Yeah. Yep.
A question. Since we have albums, right? I know everyone has like the Spotify Wraps. Do you guys have, what was your like most repeated songs of 2022?
Mine is so goofy, but I want to hear yours first because mine will ruin the whole thing. You guys go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, mine will ruin it. Mine will ruin it.
How do you go first?
Dude, I feel like mine is honestly, like I was like, it's pretty stupid. But I was just listening to like just a lot of death metal. It was just all death metal, but it was like bands I knew. I'm a huge fan of.
I wish I knew.
I want to be. So I don't know, man. Like a lot of it was the band Black Dahlia Murder. So I just listened to a lot of that. I'm pretty boring when it came to that. Yeah, I would probably say it has to be the song off the album Nocturnal. It's called "What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse." It's an older song. It fucks. It's really good. I guess that's all I'll say on that. Again, I feel like I'm the basic bitch here, man. So you guys exposed me. Like I'll be not to interrupt, but yo, that God's Country record, holy shit! Like when that came on, I was like, that basically described the year of 2022. Like if I could have a mood, that would probably be it. And I was just in awe of like that being on the list because to me that came out of left field. I guess from you, Lee, but hell yeah, man. Like I really enjoyed it. It's like kind of like a gut punch straight to the face. That didn't make any sense, but you know what? I'm gonna take it because that album is fucking awesome.
Punch. A gut and a face.
Yeah,
no, for sure, man, for sure. I knew that you'd probably have some thoughts on that one, so I'm psyched to hear that you liked it as much as I did. What about you, Brandon? What was your top Spotify track for your Wrapped of 2022?
So my top song, it was between, actually there was one, but like number 2 was close, right? Number 2, it really came out in 2021. I was doing my research right now.
Yeah.
But he's another person that shall not be named. Actually, he can't. I don't know if can he be named. Can he be named? Because he went through a trial right now, and he was found guilty.
Oh, tell me, Thugger?
Yes, Mr. Lanes. Mr. Lanes.
Yeah.
Tory Lanez, right?
Yeah.
Right,
so he had the album. What is it called? Alone at the Prom. The Color Violet. Oh my goodness, that was number 2. But my number 1 song goes to an Afrobeats artist, Omale, Woman. Ooh, that one just puts you in a vibe, man. And if you're in the club and you hear that, you're just gonna like want to like vibe and do some salsa, bachata. Even though it's Afrobeats, you still want to feel like you want to do all that unnecessary stuff.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Those are the 2 big songs for me. Those are the 2 big songs.
That's dope. Well,
how about you, Lee?
Yeah, so I don't have Spotify. I'm that asshole that has Apple Music.
No.
I have both. So
right. I know you have both actually. So I'll show you it on screen because it's like so fucking goofy. But that's my number 1 song. Can you see it? Third Eye Blind,
man.
Never Let You Go.
Wow.
Bro,
Wow.
I like rediscovered Third Eye Blind in like I want to say like December of 2021, and I just
Third Eye
went like,
Blind's got some good shit.
I went so hard. I went so hard into Never Let You Go and like their first album too, and I was like, this is, and I also like it became like my karaoke song, and like it started as like a. It started as like a joke, right? Where I would be like, "Hey Alexa, play Never Let You Go," and my girlfriend would be like, "Oh, what the fuck? I don't want to listen to Third Eye Blind again," right? But then like it transitioned to be like, "This isn't a joke anymore. Like we actually genuinely like this song." But one that I know you'll appreciate, Brendan, is "Lauren" by Odin and Fatso. Remember that one?
Yes. Oh my god, that song.
Yeah,
That song is so relaxing, such a
It's such a
vibe.
banger.
Oh my! I should play that in
Such
my
a
set on New Year's. Damn.
yeah, man.
Damn, man.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Shouts out to Odin and Fatso and their Boiler Room, man. That's how I heard that song, is through Boiler Room. They played it and like the crowd went fucking nuts. And great song. So that's a great 2022 song. I'm still not sure if we're gonna. I mean, by the time we put this podcast out, maybe it'll be already up. But I might do a top 10 songs of the year too, and you know, Lauren's gonna be on that one. So
Oh, for sure, has to be.
yeah.
Such a
Absolutely.
vibe. So.
So just to recap before we go into this kind of second half of this pod here, things that we would have changed about the top 10 if we had the wisdom of Brandon and Hunter. We would have had some justice for Jid. We would have had Jasmine
Some
Sullivan.
Justin, yes, for Jasmine,
Yeah, some justice for Jasmine. And Hunter, you're saying maybe not necessarily anything added, maybe like a metal album here or there. But
Yeah, you
more
know,
so
an
the
honorable
layout.
mention, maybe. Yeah, I guess. You know, I'll throw in
Yeah.
a couple honorable mentions there. 'Cause
Gotcha,
I actually really liked the list and the mix of everything it was. I thought you did a good spread of like covering a lot of the boundaries, because you know, like
Right.
that's hard to do. Like what's, you know, what do you pick and stuff like that. So I thought it was a really good. And I actually that Louis album also, a Chef's Kiss, really
It is a
liked
great
that one
album.
too.
Yeah, I think it creeps up on you because at first, well, I mean, we've talked about beat tapes before.
We've talked.
Like,
Yeah.
you're like, how serious do you take a beat tape? But I think that one, it's different. There's more to that one, right? And dedicated to his father and shit like that. Like, you know, it's what you said. There's meaning, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. But I thought for sure when you said you were going to reorganize it that Cheat Codes would end up at the top of your list because I know you loved that one.
Oh yeah, man, I really like Cheat Codes, but then and honestly, I've been meaning to listen to that Blue Rev. I kept seeing that album a lot, and then I was like, in my subconscious, I'm like, I just got to sit down and really listen to it, and I finally did, and I was like, well, that is,
It goes. Yeah.
it's really, yeah, it's like that post punky vibe I was looking for,
Definitely.
and I really enjoyed it. It was very good.
Yeah, when we did the Blue Rev episode, not to go too off track here, but when we did the Blue Rev episode, Rob and I, we said that we heard a lot of like Smiths in it.
Yeah, there's some songs. Yeah.
And it's nice. It's a place that always hasn't gone yet. And I know that they have a new rhythm section, right? They have a new like bass player and drummer. So I'm not sure if that is a part of it or not, comparatively to their first two albums. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a great record, very versatile for sure. And they've like kind of fully ditched the surf rock shit, which like kind of made them famous. Like they're in like a whole new frontier, you know, which is nice.
I love the sound. Very
Yeah.
Smithy, very Smithy, and
100%.
what's the famous one?
My Bloody Valentine.
Joy, that and Joy Division. I feel
Oh, okay, yeah. I could get that.
I get some Joy Division vibes in it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love that album. Anyways, let not to
Wait,
not to.
I had to do a research again.
Yep.
There's a couple of albums that we missed.
Alright.
More to add to the list. Brandon, take it, rip it
He's coming
apart,
with the
man.
heat. He's coming with the heat.
As much as like the station I work for, I dislike the way they play the shit out of his music.
Yeah,
But Sir Abel of Scarborough
that's fair.
is missing on the
That's fair.
album, on this list.
Yeah,
Right. There's a couple of songs that I know we all vibe from like the Sacrifices to what was it, Break My Heart, to all those other jazzes and whatnot, right?
Take My
And-
Breath goes crazy. Like a very underrated opening single off that album.
And I'm going to be controversial, but the other guy from Toronto,
Are you
one?
kidding?
Which
Oh
one?
no! Are you
Which one are
actually
you
going to
gonna
say
put
it?
in here?
Are you going to say it? Are you just saying this because you're a
Do your
shithead?
dance, 21. Do your dance, 21. Yes, sir. Yes, Sir Drake.
Oh jeez.
Sir Drake.
Oh.
What's the album
Is it
called again?
are you doing
Her
her
Loss.
loss? Or are you doing
Her
honestly
Loss.
never mind? Okay. I agree. Her loss is the better of the two.
Okay. I was gonna
Her
say. I
Loss
thought he
is
was gonna
better than
say.
two.
Honestly, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Honestly, Nevermind has no business being near the top 10. Her loss,
Yeah.
I think it's more explainable. I would say this. I don't think her loss. Let me do a quick brain check here. Okay, I might be forgetting something, but her loss would be like the 9th or 10th best hip hop album of the year.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like, you know what I mean?
fair.
Really?
So like maybe it would be 9 or 10. Like what I'm trying to say is in a list of all genres, I don't know if it has any place. Dawn FM though, I think that's very fair. I think Dawn FM is probably the
I would
weekend's
agree.
best album, not named House of Balloons.
I was about to say, I'll be like,
So yeah,
you see
House
that
of
conceited
Balloons.
meme? I'll be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
House of
Yeah.
Balloons, it gets its cake, it gets its flowers, but no, I think Dawn FM is a very, very good album. Conceptually, it's very good too.
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's
you
fair.
think Donovan is better than Blinding Lights? Is the album called Blinding Lights?
No, fuck, what was that
After
called?
Hours.
Yes.
After Hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You have that over After Hours?
Yeah,
I
man.
think they're
I
close.
would say.
I
I
think
would say
they're-
Dawn FM's better than After Hours for me.
I think they're pretty close, but if I had to choose, I would probably say Dawn FM. I'd say Dawn FM probably After Hours third, and then probably Beauty Behind the Madness. And Starboy is hella overrated, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that's very overrated now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we've got the 2022 in the rearview mirror, guys. We can't be focused on it anymore, so we're going to focus on 2023, which brings us to the kind of second half of this pod here. 2023, there's a lot of artists that we can look forward to releasing music if we can trust them by their word, which artists have proven time and time again we cannot. So we shall see if these come out. But from what we are anticipating for 2023, here's 5 kind of big albums that
Let's
are
go.
expected to drop this year. People are expecting Scary Hours 3 from Mr. Toronto that you mentioned already, Drake. So Scary Hours 3 probably be like another EP sort of thing, 3-4 songs, something like that. Just announced this week, Mac DeMarco is releasing an album this year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This
Marco,
month
Marco.
called 5 Easy Hot Dogs. So everyone loves Mac DeMarco. That should be dope. Apparently he recorded it on his way to a cabin that he was staying at in Utah, and he recorded it in the different cities he was in or some shit like that.
Excellent.
Next one that we're also anticipating for 2023, It's a Boy by J. Cole. So that'll be J. Cole's, technically his next studio release. Or his first
okay.
studio release because
Ooh.
whatever the fuck it was called, what was the one that he had that came out this year? Or was it last year?
Oh,
I can't remember.
with this group. Yeah.
No, not that one. Not Dreamers, whatever the fuck. Or it was the one where he's on the basketball court. I can't even remember now, but
yeah.
But whatever
my
that
J. Cole
it
friend
was-
would kill me.
yeah, same. But whatever it is, that was supposed to be a mixtape. Apparently, this is his next studio album called "It's a Boy." There's apparently
the off season.
the off season. There you go. So
There
the
you
off
go,
season was a
there you go.
mixtape apparently. So this is his first studio album in a couple years. There's another project that people are pretty excited about and are waiting in hot anticipation for. It's a Pusha T DJ Drama mixtape. If you forget who DJ Drama is, folks, it's the guy who did Tyler the Creator's "Call Me When You Get Lost" album with him, and that became Grammy nominated and is probably going to win that Grammy. And then finally, long-awaited Utopia, Travis Scott, which has been promised for a couple of years now, which would be his follow-up to Astroworld. So there are a handful of albums right there. Is there any of that list that you guys are like most psyched about? Is there an album that I didn't say or an artist that you're really hoping drops that we didn't mention yet? I mean, Rihanna's another good one. I know it's a
I'm
good
not
one.
looking. I'm a big Rihanna fan, but like, you know
think
what
she's
it
done
is.
Music?
I think she's too focused on what is it
Fenty.
called? Her Fenty, right? Because
Yeah.
when she released, what is it? Lift Me Up. I was excited, and I heard this. I'm like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
Right? ASAP.
Not very
What
good.
have you done? What have you done, ASAP? That's another guy I'm actually looking
It's
forward to.
all-
Actually, that's I'm looking forward to his album.
Yep.
Actually,
That's true. That's true.
right.
Oh, he's got one coming. Oh hell
He
yeah!
has one coming. He has
Yeah.
one coming. Right. Hopefully, it's fun. It's good because his previous ones doesn't have the juice anymore.
Right.
The Gorillas.
Yeah.
Cracker Island.
Ooh.
There's one.
That's supposed to be coming this month too. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of another one. I think those are the big ones. My opinion, that are coming out. The
This
Gorillas,
is a good one. Yeah.
ASAP, and you said Utopia. Utopia. I don't know. Okay, like
We
I'm
shall
gonna
see.
say something something controversial, but like
Drop the
Travis
hot
Scott.
take.
Travis Scott, he just makes hype up music, right? How
Yeah.
long could you survive with hype up music? Like, put us through a story, put us through a roller coaster. How many times are you gonna be like,
Right.
all right, no bystanders, the party never? Like, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that, man. Like, give us something new. Give us something new, Travis. Give us something new.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree, man. I agree on the Travis take. Like, Astro World was fine. I think people hyped it up way too much.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, man, his best album to this day remains Rodeo. And it's because Rodeo
Rodeo's
had
really
ups
good.
and downs. It was
would agree.
dynamic. There was like fast, there was slow. There was club bangers. There were the ones where you're, talking with your friends at fucking like 3 a.m. in someone's fucking living room. You know what I mean? Like, there was a little bit of, variance, I should say, to the album. And Astro World, like, yeah, I agree. I think like it was like the whole tone of the album was sicko mode. You know what I mean? That was the whole tone of the album. It was
Yeah.
that. And
Sicko
it's
Mode
that's
Part
great.
2.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like give me a little up and down, right? So we'll see. But Utopia has been worked on for a long time. So I don't know. Maybe.
Well, he
maybe
did have his
it's,
little-
something.
You did have his little obscure concert and stuff like that. That almost got him canceled.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
He who shall not be named. We can name him again because there's worse people now. Well, I don't know, debatable. Anyway, Hunter, what's some albums that you're looking forward to, or of this list, is there anything that you're really psyched about?
Mac DeMarco for sure. I'm really stoked for Mac DeMarco to be making music again. So got on his late train. You know what? Yeah, I'll throw in Paramore to that list. They
Yeah.
kind of took like a Talking Heads approach with their last one. So this is like me, and they took like a lot of time off. So Paramore's like they've gone through like the emo kind of thing, and then like the mature sound, but then band members were suing them, and then like it seems like they're kind of maybe a return to form, but they're kind of like an art rock band now, so I'm kind of interested to see where they're going.
Definitely.
And I think there's like a Mogwai release that I'm
that's
stoked
cool.
for, but that's like later down the line. So that's about me, really.
Yeah, I think, if you were to listen to Paramore now and you hadn't listened to them since fucking whatever the fuck,
it.
like
Yeah.
that fucking song that was huge, like in 2006 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yes.
They're unrecognizable.
Oh, most
You
definitely.
you could not tell me that they're the same band if I was like brand new to it. Even like there was an album that they put out, I want to say like 2016, and it was like
Yeah.
kind of like disco. It was like a disco kind of like, I don't even know what it was, but it's like completely just unexpected for the band that I thought I knew was Paramore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're a super interesting band to watch. Like,
I got sorry to just cut you off, but I also got two more. I was looking at a list and I'm like, oh, I'm excited now for these.
Now go ahead.
So my 17th wife, Miley Cyrus, Endless Summer Vacation is cool.
I actually thought you were gonna mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's from the 17th wife. We're just be having ups and downs, but we got that. And Lana Del Rey, that's another one I'm looking for. I've been in a fluctuation with her, but I want to see how
that's
she
true,
comes
actually.
with this.
Yeah, she's coming this year. I know she announced her album at the end of December there, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, I mean, Norman fucking Rockwell is pretty fucking good. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully the next album's great. I think, like, the thing I would really like from Lana Del Rey, and I know Norman fucking Rockwell, like, topped a lot of people's, like, album of the years list. album of the year list when that came out too. I think that was 2020, I want to say, or 2019 maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I would like to see like a little bit something new, like, you know, something fleshed out a little bit more, like something more risky. Let's say that. Not new, because she definitely did new. She did do new. But I would like something that's maybe a little bit more offbeat for her, or something that is unexpected. Because I think she does the Americana thing. She does, like, you know, that kind of like swooning thing, like super, super well. But like, I don't know if there's anything else I would.
It gives you like an 80s vibe, basically.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else I would attribute to her other than that sound. And I would like to say that there's a bunch of things that I think of when I think of her sound. So, but what are you saying, Hunter?
Oh, I had a thought, another album that this is one that I think is going to come out of the blue just because I heard that they're doing shows, and I'm going to see if I can go. I feel like Death Grips might drop an album.
Oh, I know, man.
And if they do it, I'm going to lose my mind. I like they're that band that's going to come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, remember us? And I'm going to lose my shit if that actually happens. So I'm going to throw Death Grips in that mix.
I think you're 1,000% right. I think Death Grips is gearing up for a release.
Oh my god! Like how long have they had their hiatus now? Like I couldn't even fucking tell you.
Their last album would have been at least 2016. Let me look.
Yeah, and then I was doing like the deep dive of lore of Death Grips, and they took a picture of like a cocktail napkin and was like, hey, like we quit, we're done. And I thought that was one of the greatest things ever. I'm like, well, like they just don't give a shit.
Okay, no. Sorry. 2018 was when the Year of the Snitch came out.
Okay, 2018. Okay.
Yeah, so we got. Yeah,
I hope it happens, man. I hope it happens.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because one of the guys, me and Brandon, we were talking to him, and he's like Death Grips, and I was like, wait a minute, what? Death Grips is touring? So I don't know. People could go to that show, and they could be playing like out of a speaker, like they did that, and they punked the whole crowd last time. So imagine if like I pay to go to imagine if I pay to go to that concert, and then they don't even show up, like they do like the politicals, or they do one of the stunts. So it'd be easy to see.
I feel like they're the new, maybe not the new, because like they've been doing it for a while too, but like they're kind of like that next kind of version of like MF Doom, you know, like the villain musician,
I could see
or
that.
like the villain rapper, where he like kind of like punks his fans and like does stupid shit to his fans, and people are like mad, but they're like, but it's like kind of part of the bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's not even them.
Too.
Yeah,
Kanye.
Yeah, true, it's true. I mean, part of the bit for real. But yeah, no, I think Death Grips would be great for sure. That I would be fucking so stoked if we got another Death Grips album. That'd be sweet.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So what's your albums you're looking forward to?
Hit me with it, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I'm psyched for Mac DeMarco for sure. Gorillaz is a great one. I forgot that they already have a couple songs out. I'm really cross. I said kind of before the show that I'm really hoping for Flying Lotus. He released a couple of singles this past year in 2022 that I loved. Like, they were such great singles. So I really hope that like, I don't know, it gets put into an album or is like inspiring like an album. And a couple other artists. I'm a little biased because we've interviewed them on the show, but Cadence Weapon, he says that he's pretty much done an album back when we talked to him in the summer, so hoping that one drops this year because I loved his Polaris winning Parallel World. And another guy I talked to him in November, I want to say, Claremont II. He says his magnum opus is coming in 2023, hopefully, he was saying. And if you have listened to his shit before, you know how talented that guy is. Like, he's such a good rapper, such a good producer. And I think, just like more Toronto representation, more like Southern Ontario representation with Cadence Weapon. Like, I'm stoked for that.
Yeah.
Because we have such good musicians here, man, that like more people need to hear how great they are more frequently. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So yeah, psyched for them, man. Really stoked, really stoked for them. But honestly, like, I find it so hard to like maybe stay on like but like back when I was younger, it was so easy for me to like be like, oh, like this album's coming out soon. Like, did you ever like check out that website, like Has It Leaked? Do you guys know that website? From way back in the day?
I don't think I've heard of that, no.
They would post like torrents if like an album had leaked like a week earlier or some shit like that. Like, and I remember being on that all the time, man. Like, I was like, has the new Drake leaked yet? Or like, you know, has whatever leaked yet? And like now, I don't even know when an album's dropping. Like whenever someone's like, "Oh, like a surprise drop from Lil Sims," I'm like, every album's a surprise drop for me, man. Like I have no idea when shit's coming out. Like I have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything might as well be a surprise drop. So I'm just excited for another year of great music because 2022 was awesome, honestly.
It was a really good year for music this year. Yeah.
Question for the panel.
Yes.
So we already have a list of albums that like quote unquote are supposed to come back, but like, is there an artist that you want them to drop an album? Because I have two already.
Oh, great question.
Yeah, what's up? Give it to me.
Like, so number one, I've been waiting for this guy since Blonded, but where the flip are you, Mr. Frank Ocean? I need to be in my feels, all right? I need to be in my feels, or I need to sing a song to serenade to women, or something like that, man. Right? And the second one, she's rumored to be making an album right now, but it's My Third Mother, Sade. I'm waiting for her to drop.
She is making an album, man. That came out November. I want to say that she's got an album in the works again. So
I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the Third Mother to drop that album. Those are my two artists that like. They're not confirmed, but like I hope that they drop something.
Well, the Sade one is confirmed. I read that. So like,
but is it this year? That's the only thing. We don't know if it's this year or
that's fair.
next
That's
year.
fair. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, those are good ones. Yeah, Frank, man.
Yo, shout out to Lee showing shout out to Lee showing me pyramids having some bodacious wine. That was a life-changing moment. Lee was like, "Hey Hunter, you gotta check this shit out, man." I was like, "Yo, let me hear it." He throws on Pyramid, and I'm like, "What is this?" And I immediately go home and I download Blonde and Channel Orange. So, so shout out to hopefully Frank, because you got a new fan here that's wanting to hear more, man.
I mean, people have been saying that for fucking years, man. So we shall see. You want to know another good one? Yo, you go ahead, Brandon. You go ahead.
No, like I was saying, after Frank Ocean, I actually got into an argument with someone about best Frank Ocean albums, right? This Nimrod had the audacity to say Endless is Frank Ocean's best album. Right? And I'm just like,
he was just trying to be like contrarian, you know? Like, deep in his soul, he does not believe that. He does not believe that.
I want to, but he said he's been saying some outrageous stuff. But I'm like,
bro, deep in his soul.
Was he dedicated to the bit?
Yeah, he was so dedicated. He was so dedicated.
It's like, oh, it's so good, man. Dedicated. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, Endless is like categorically incorrect. Like it's just like objectively the worst of Frank Ocean's albums. And I love Endless. But like Channel Orange is obviously better. Blonde is obviously better. Nostalgia Ultra is one of the best mixtapes of all time. So like Endless is I'm sorry, man. What it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. So
that's the equivalent, and I don't know how you guys feel, of someone, I will not say their name, who believes that Section 80 is Kendrick's best album. What does the panel say about that?
Yeah, this is a hot take, maybe a take that I've I've been told that this is a bad take before, so I won't be offended if you guys think so. Okay. I think Section 80 is like one of the, I won't say one of the most, but it's like just like it's such an overrated like pick for people. Like I think like Kendrick, like Section 80 is a good album. Don't get me wrong, but when you're looking at Kendrick's discography, everything after Section 80, so literally Good Kid, Mad City, like from everything else on, is just better than Section 80, and it's really not that close. You know what I mean? Like Untitled and Mastered, that's better than Section 80. So I just get so mad when people are like, Section 80 is like so fucking good, man. I'm like, yeah, but it's like his sixth best record. So what the fuck are we talking about?
I have to look at the track list before I make my final decision.
I'm just saying. Right. I know. Hey, look, that's my opinion. I've been crucified for it before with people because people are like, you don't know Kendrick, then you don't know Kendrick. And I'm like, no, I know it, man. It's just, come on.
Yeah, it's like, hey, man, it's like this body of work. It's pretty vast now and
I'm like, it's pretty fucking good since then, man.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair take to have, you know?
All right, so it does make my criteria of good album. So my criteria of a good album, right?
What is that?
If you have 8 songs that I fuck with, I consider that a good album.
What if the album's 6 songs long?
Out of their own. Oh, if they're all good, all right, cool. If they're all garbage,
then it passes. Yeah.
yeah. Like you either need a passing grade, but
That's a high benchmark, though. 8 songs have to be that good for it to be good?
What? Yeah, what? Yeah, that's near half the albums nowadays. Everything's like either 8 to 16. You have the occasional 20s and stuff like that, but you just need a cool 7 to 8. If you,
I agree.
That's
it. I agree with that.
Okay, interesting.
All right. So.
In my opinion, there's really, and of course, there's albums that I love that do not fall into what I'm about to say. So, take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But generally speaking, like, there really is no reason to have an album over 20 songs. Really.
Really?
Like, let's think about it. Like, if you're getting into an album that's over 20 songs, you're getting a little self-indulgent. You know what I mean? You're getting, it's like, come on, man, relax, man. Like,
well, they used to do that back in the day, though.
Sleep can do an album in one song.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did fucking one song.
Yeah. So.
No, you know what? Yeah, like that's 20 fucking songs. Like that's a double album at that point, and it's like, guys, like how much material do we need? Like, that's kind of like
or at least,
a weird
have
flex.
the decency to call it a double album. Exactly. I like. Maybe it's just this is more a commentary on my attention span than anything. But like, it's like,
oh no, I would probably. There's some level, I think, because I'm gonna fucking again for the meme. That's like Metallica's last release was the double album, but like almost every song after like the first 2 songs were like 9 minutes long. And it's like, come on, guys, enough.
Goodness meals. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 6 minutes. And I'm like, guys, like that's like too long for me. Like I can't like do something like like short and fast. Like a 9-song album, done. That's all you need.
Especially like a thrash metal album, man. Like
a thrash metal band. Yeah,
can punch me in the face, in and out. We good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I don't need an opera about how bad war is or something like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like. There's some genres where it makes sense. Like Kamasi Washington, that guy releases like 4-hour albums, and it makes sense because it's a jazz record where you're like, "Yo, I forgot this was on." Like halfway through it, and you're like, "Shit, all right."
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, we're still in the first half." Yeah,
yeah, but like a thrash metal album, I was like, okay.
Yeah. Trim the fat,
Exactly.
After further investigation, Section 80 is second to last on Kendrick's.
Second to last, he says.
To last.
Oh my goodness.
Kendrick's discography.
I told you I'm not crazy.
There's a lot of big songs I like, but like looking at the other discographies of the other guys, it can't compete.
Yo, Brandon, I'm gonna ask what last is. I'm gonna try and guess what the last one is. Like,
okay, what is it?
Last place? It's Damn, isn't it? Is it Damn?
Okay.
Is it actually?
It's a hot take.
Did I get it?
But it's between Damn and Mr. Morale.
Okay.
It's Mr. Morale. Right? Because Mr. Morale, I liked N95. Right. We Cry Together has been on repeat for a long, long time.
Yep. We Cry
Silent
Together
Hill was iffy for me. Anti-Diaries, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, right? Then after that, it gets like the Heart Part 5. Amazing. Then after that, some of the songs I'm like, yo, I'm dozing off. I'm like, all right, cool, right?
Yeah.
Damn, there's only like what? Let me see. Songs I like from Damn was DNA.
Yep.
What is
Loyalty,
it? Lust.
Humble.
Oh, I hated Loyalty. I hated Loyalty.
Well, yeah, you work in radio. You would hate Loyalty.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yes, DNA, Humble, Lust, and XXX featuring U2. Chef's kiss right there. But those were the only songs. Everything else is like, all right, cool, right? I'm very meticulous with music. Like, even my friends crucify me to this day. J. Cole's best album, 24 Forest Hill Drive. I say the best song on there is Saint Tropez. I get killed.
I'm an apparently man on 2014, but like apparently, oh man, I love that song.
Yeah. Fire.
I will say 2014 is still my favorite J. Cole album too. But like with the Kendrick conversation, I don't think it's like necessarily wrong to say that Mr. Morale doesn't live up to like, especially the last few releases that have happened for Kendrick, because like the thing with Mr. Morale that I think is like kind of I don't know, like kind of like hard for people that are like maybe expecting a your average Kendrick release, which I don't even know what that would mean anymore, but are expecting a Kendrick release is that it is like a lot more like introspective and slower and like doesn't have like a lot of hooks necessarily. Doesn't have like, especially doesn't have like that Good Kid, Mad City feel, like where every song kind of feels like it could be a single. Every song on Mr. Morale doesn't feel like it could be a single. It feels like it's a little bit too weird to be a single, or it feels like it's a little bit too like it doesn't have enough like catchiness to it. But like that's not what the album was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The album was trying to make a bit of a commentary on like, this is my life right now where I see it. And, this isn't going to be played in clubs, but like maybe like this will sit with you for a little bit and make you think a little bit more.
And we talked.
I can see why that doesn't level out with some of the other ones,
Yeah, I remember we talked about that when we reviewed it.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
true.
like,
We did.
I mean, it's funny that I think one of the comments I remember is that like it's like, oh, I wouldn't throw this on at a party, but then I think Lee, you raised a good point where it's like, yeah, but Kendrick is that like a party music type vibe? Like who wants to kind of like, hey, throw on
Mad City.
Yeah, like Mad City, or like throw on like All Right, like are we gonna throw on All Right now? And I don't know.
I mean, but
yeah,
like,
of course, yeah. Well, this
saying,
is like a music appreciation people, yeah.
The point is, if you are gonna do that with Kendrick, like if you're looking for Kendrick like party bangers or club bangers, he's released them already. Mr. Morale wasn't that, and that's fine. Like N95 was the closest thing. Yeah, it was more. It was more for the people to like listen, think about like where Kendrick's at, and it was kind of a big fuck you, right? To be like, yo, like I'm not your savior, like I'm a human being. And this is my experience, sort of thing, right? So it's just gonna have a different vibe, which I think is like kind of intentional too. Of like, yeah, I'm not gonna give you like a club hit because this album's for me. Do you know what I mean?
Which I respect immensely. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, the point is, I don't think it's wrong to put Mr. Morale low. It's not better than Good Kid. It's not better than To Pimp a Butterfly. It's probably not better than Untitled Unmastered for me. Like it's probably par with that for me actually. So So I don't think that's wrong.
Right.
But yeah, I love the pick though. Just kind of getting back to our original conversation of like stuff we're looking forward to. I love the pick of Gorillaz. Really stoked about that, and kind of in that same vein of like UK rock group that I'm really stoked for. I really hope The Smile puts out another album. I'm not sure if you guys had an opportunity to listen to The Smile from this past year. They were really close to the top 10 this year too. But obviously Tom York and I think John Greenwood of Radiohead. I want to say those are the two from Radiohead. Maybe I'm fucking that up. But definitely Tom York. They recently did an NPR like Tiny Desk concert. If you guys want to go check out that, it's really, really good. And it's a great project. And like, you know how like every project that Tom York is in, it kind of just sounds like different eras of Radiohead. Well, this one does too. So if you like Radiohead, you're gonna love it.
Do you how would you describe the era if for the Radiohead fans out there?
I'd say it's
King
like
of Limbs, Ben style, or is it like Burn the Witch, whatever the fuck the latest one was?
No, it's like it's between the Bends and like what album was Hail to the Thief? It kind of sounds like Hail to the Thief.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So kind of like that era, which is honestly probably my favorite era. So like
nice,
like just before In Rainbows, you know what I mean? Like just before they kind of like figured out their synths, not figured out their synths could do way more, but their synths could be like more poppy. You know what I mean? Like before that era, and like not quite into the Kid A, like we're fucking weird as shit era.
Like more the analog bullshit they were doing.
Exactly, yeah. The Hail of the Thief, I think, is like right in the wheelhouse of The Smile. So if you love that shit, definitely go check them out. But I hope they release another record. But we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, any other big releases you guys are looking forward to, or any other like music related things you guys are looking forward to for the year before we end this one?
Yeah. Or Brandon, do you have anything before I was gonna ask a question?
You go first. I'm just trying to think. You go first.
Cool.
Oh wait, sorry, just to cut you off.
Yeah,
I know this one will excite Brandon for sure, and probably you too, Hunter. But I know Kate Tronada is supposed to release this year too. So
let's go.
We always love our Haitian Montreal cooking when Kate Tronada drops. So probably one of my favorite.
Gotta give
DJs,
it to Kate. Yo, absolutely. Probably the most recognizable, best one that's out right now. Definitely agree.
He needs to be on air, on somewhere, some stations, but hey, what do I know? You know, what do I know?
Yeah.
Gotta keep pitching it, man. Fucking hell.
Exactly. But okay, sorry, I interrupted you, Hunter. Go for it.
Oh, no worries. I've talked to this about to Brandon a little bit, but Lee, I'd like to get you your thoughts on it. Where it looks as though, you know, with TikTok, you know, all these songs getting recognized, or, you know, like a TV show, like the big one being, of course, Stranger Things, using Master of Puppets. They put Metallica, you know, back in the sphere.
Yeah, running
up that hill, charting again.
Yeah.
And I remember someone told me that was, he had a hot take where he said that he believes that it will soon become singles culture, that music will be released via singles and albums are dead. Do you believe albums will be dying in the near future? Or why is it still important to release albums rather than singles?
Okay. No, they will not die. They're not going to die.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why like the vinyl record didn't die, right? Is because there are like super big music fans out there, like music nerds that are like always going to appreciate long format, and in the case of vinyl, physical format music. That's always going to be there. That's always going to happen. The same way that, you know, even though we have things like TikTok, or we have things like, I don't know, YouTube Shorts or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Television still is thriving, right? Like, even though we have these super short, condensed versions of TV and condensed versions of like entertainment, the long format entertainment there's still value there, right? So I think it's the same sort of thing. Do I think like single culture is like fucking like getting like to a point where that I've like, you know, we've never really seen it before? Like, yeah, definitely. Like the speed up thing with songs, like labels are now asking their bands to release sped up versions of their songs so that they can be on TikTok. Like, that's why.
I'm not gonna lie. Some songs have been saved by sped up versions.
I know,
I'm not gonna lie.
I think that is something that's like kind of crazy about this like kind of culture, right? Is that it's like, you know, my initial reaction to that is like, oh, eye roll, like just listen to the original song, but then it's kind of like, well, how is that any different than like DJs like kind of manipulating a song and like making it sound differently or something like that? I'm like, it's not, man. It's like another cool way to like, I don't know, like take in the song in another sort of way. Like I have a friend who's an A&R, for instance, right? He's an A&R for a local label here in Toronto, and he has a band that he went to them and he'd be like, hey guys, like I think your album would blow up a lot better if you like released a sped up version because one of your songs is on TikTok being used sped up. And lo and behold, they got like way more fucking engagement with their album on things like Spotify and Apple Music and more purchases on iTunes and shit like that after they released a sped up version. And like, you know, if that's what you got to do to blow up and like that somehow aids you, then like fucking fair play, man. Cause like artists need as many legs up as they can. Right. So if that's part of the new culture and this singles culture, or like figuring out like new ways to get people to like hear this kind of music, like I'm all for it. I just hope it doesn't deter people from like continuing to like listen to people's like other shit that they got, like a 10-second version of a sped up song.
Exactly.
Hopefully leads you to like listen to the album, or hopefully leads you to check out the artist's other shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And like you said, like there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with like more exposure, right? In their eyes, like the more the better, right? Brandon, any thoughts on that? Absolutely. Or do you think Lee hit the nail on the head there?
Like I said, yeah, I don't think albums could die because, two, if you're only going to do singles, that's like, man, you can't thrive off singles alone, right?
Right.
You need a whole album. Like, say if you go to, a tour. What, this person is going to play, 3 singles the whole time? Nah, man, we got to hear that whole body of work. We need to hear that whole body of work, right? Some songs can't be singles because of the language or whatever. But, like, we need to hear this person's full, like, story, right? Whether it's like the NBA young boys probably talking about the same, I fucked this girl this many times, da. But there's beats and transitions and stuff like that. Or someone talking about a breakup, right? Like, we need a full album. Like, albums can't die. I think, to me, person, whoever said that, I know who said that, he's dumb, all right? He's dumb, all right? He's dumb.
He's flat out dumb. He's flat out dumb.
Straight out dumb because, he probably likes singles, but like you can't logically you can't as a musician you can't thrive off singles alone, right? Like
Right.
one hit wonders, all right, cool, yeah, but like you're only going to be known for one hit wonders. You want to you want to have a successful music career. I'm sure
Yes.
Vanessa Carlton wants a successful music career, but like her other music's trash, right? You only know for that one shit, right?
That's like
Yeah.
like do you guys know any other Wheatus song than Teenage Dirtbag? Because I
Yeah.
don't know any other Wheatus song.
Well, here's the
ever.
thing. Here's the thing about that is like all those one hit wonders, like those Lou Bengas, there's like
Yeah.
fucking Weeduses, fucking all of them, every single one you can think of. Those all came off albums, man. Those were not released as
Yes.
singles. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like
yeah.
like it's the
Yep.
same shit. And like I think ultimately, like for a long time, I think like for the past at least probably 30 years, we've been heading towards like albums being less important than singles. And like maybe it's kind of always been that way, and like it's just kind of like more punctuated now that you can like buy a song on iTunes, or you can like stream one single song and save it to your library, right? Like shit's different now. Like you used to have to buy the album, so like shit was going to change. But I think ultimately, like really what matters is like artist exposure, and like the hope is that like someone likes it enough that they're like, yo, I want to listen to this more. Like kind of like what happened with Steve Lacy. I think that's a great example. Like, you hear "I Wish I Knew," and then you're like, well, what else is going on here? And like, it led to me, like I was on TikTok the other day. I saw that there was like a Steve Lacy TikTok on my feed, and I was like, all right, let's check this one out. And it was like, did you know like this song? And it's like, Steve Lacy's like first EP, and I was like, yeah, I knew this song, but this is fucking sick. But like that someone has like made this TikTok because that's the way that people hear more Steve Lacy. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And also
so I
too,
think,
another
good
factor
things can
too.
happen.
Another factor too is TV shows, right? They're,
Yes.
they're like
Yeah.
I write scripts here and there, right? But like I'm always thinking of, I'm listening to various songs. Like, see, Lee has sent me songs to help me with like writing my scripts. Like, help me, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I remember this song. I remember this song, right? So the fact that he's saying that, albums are gonna, no, man, no. If you were to watch shows like, what's that one show? Stranger Things. No one knew about that fucking song. That song wasn't even a single. That wasn't a single, right?
Yeah.
It was just a random off written from an album. They're like, oh, I like this song. Boom.
Yeah.
Now it's a huge smash.
Totally.
So
And,
shout out
like-
to that dumbass that said that comment.
Yeah. Also, I think that there's something to like, what you said there with TV shows and movies, because like I think now more than ever, and maybe it's because of streaming services and like the accessibility to music that we have now, but like music makes such a huge impact on like the viral success of a television show or a movie now too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I'm thinking about the obviously Stranger Things shit, but like I'm not sure if you saw this Wednesday show, like the Addams Family show or whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show, but I know that song from that one dance scene that she does blew the fuck up, and like people talk about that scene all the fucking time, and it's like because the music's fucking
So
dope,
mesmerizing. Yep.
Yeah.
So mesmerizing.
and it's like, so like I think like that's happening more and more, where we're seeing like songs that really take hold of the experience in film as well, and how they aid each other, right? They help each other kind of bring it to like a next viral kind of peak or tier. So
I actually just thought of this too, right? That as soon as people like hear the one song, they're probably gonna want to check out the band like even more, like just by default.
definitely.
Like that's what you do when you first
That's the
hear.
hope.
Yeah, hopefully that's like what you do. Like when I first heard Kate Renata, it's like, okay, well I want to see what's like more Kate Renata, and then you just go down the rabbit hole, right? So
Another
there's gotta be
example
that.
too. The Batman.
yeah.
Oh
Nirvana.
God.
Was that song?
Oh,
Was that
Nirvana.
a single? Was that song a single?
I don't
It was
know.
not
It was a
strictly
single.
off
I
of
don't
the
think
album.
so.
Yeah.
Strictly off the album, but they're like, oh man, I like this song a lot. Let's
Yeah.
play it.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that in the Batman, it's like all Nirvana. I think or like the majority of Nirvana.
To even to go off of that idea too, and just to wrap this kind of idea up, to go off that idea too, I know that I think Okay, see now I might be lying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The like song for Nirvana being in the film, I guess, was already chosen or something at that point. Robert Pattinson heard about that, and he like based his character in part after like Kurt Cobain, which is
Interesting.
crazy. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, and if that's true, this could be all bullshit. So if it's bullshit, crucify me in the comments sort of shit.
Yeah.
But
let us know.
if it's not bullshit, that's an interesting point. So there you go. But just like how art is like influencing each other here, and we're at that stage because like that viral thing is like so important. I think it's like such a big part of this of like, you know, what will help something go viral and vice versa is such a big piece of like how we consume art now. So. So yeah, I'm fucking for it, man. But no, albums are sticking around. Even if less people are listening to them, they're sticking around.
Yep. Or true fans are listening to albums.
Yeah.
True fans, I should say.
Or like just people who are like interested in long format art will always be into albums, you know? So they'll be there, man. They'll be there. But gotta say, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in with me, or not tuning in, but for joining me on this episode. And for those who are tuning into episode 1 of season 3, thank you so much. Brandon, why don't you go ahead, tell people where they can find you at if they want to follow your escapades in life.
This camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
No.
Where you can find me, IG is 13RANDED. I'm a little on a hiatus right now, but I'll be back in February with more nonsense with music.
Get some mixes out.
Yeah, there will be a streaming channel on Twitch with song battles, so I might have to get you guys as judges, right?
Let's go.
Yeah, tune in for that.
Yep. I'm looking for judges, so I'll hit you guys up, but it's going to be song battles, categories, and stuff like that. Who got the better music taste and shit like that. So keep a lookout for that, basically. But yeah, that's basically it. And it'll be called That Heat 900 on Twitch if you're looking for it.
Love it. Dope. And Hunter, as always, where can people find you if they want to keep up with your life?
Hey, yo, Instagram is The Hunter Hamilton, all lowercase. You can find me there. I might be doing a couple art-related things down the line, but I'll probably post about that. So
You say art like ballet?
Yeah, dances,
I would pay.
pictures, all the good stuff.
I would pay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I get to see you guys DJ together. I think that would blow my mind personally. So.
We'll have to sort
if there's
that
talks
out.
about something, boys. All right, yeah, that'd be sick.
We'll hear it here first, guarantee it. But yeah, no, awesome. Thank you so much for joining the show, guys. And for those listening, like, subscribe, add the show, comment on the show, rate the show if you're listening on podcast or whatever. Do all the things. And stick with us for the year. We're hoping to have an episode. Usually I try to drop an episode every second Monday of the year. So that'll be, or every second Monday, starting off this year on the whatever fucking day it is today that we dropped. And stick with us for bi-weekly episodes. It'll be dope. And try to get some good interviews this season. Try to get some fun new games and fun topics to chat about. And hopefully it'll be a good season. So we'll have to have you guys back soon to talk all things music again.
Totally.
And for you guys to rip apart another, top whatever list that I make.
Damn, Skippy. Will do.
Dope. Awesome. All right. Well, take care, guys. Thanks for listening. Peace.